Remember, guys, we have a long, dark winter ahead. There's no hope in containing this virus. Lockdowns are the only solution. Unless you're Moderna and you put out the findings from your stage 3 studies and realize that you have a shelf-stable, 95% effective vaccine for COVID-19. And yeah, looks like we're going to be getting out of this very, very shortly. And yeah, it's just fucking great news. And I just figured we'll end the day on that. So Moderna on Monday said its coronavirus vaccine works to prevent COVID-19. That's normally what coronavirus vaccines would do, right? Moderna is now the second drug maker to share positive results for a coronavirus vaccine after Pfizer said a week ago that its shot works at only a 90% rate, by the way, which is still way, way, way more successful than your common flu vaccine, which is about 65 to 66% effective. Pfizer's vaccine needs to be stored at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit, presenting a challenge for vaccine distribution, whereas Moderna's vaccine, however, is stable up to a month at a standard refrigeration temperature between 36 and 46 degrees Fahrenheit. Huge, huge, huge discovery here. This is terrific news. And then we got better news about the stock market after this, but first and foremost, we'll get into the nitty-gritty here. Moderna on Monday said its experimental vaccine was effective at preventing COVID-19, the disease that caused the novel coronavirus, or is the colloquial term for the novel Chinese virus, the Wuhan flu, the Kung flu, whatever other funny names are out there for it. The findings came from a massive and well-designed study, but they haven't been reviewed by outside experts or regulators. Who gives a shit? All they're going to do is just... I hate that... Okay, this might be a controversial stance, but peer-reviewed studies are just echo chambers. Change my mind. No. You just look at what Peter Boghossian and James Lindsay, I understand that these are different disciplines. The fact that they could publish so many nonsense papers when it came to gender studies and diversity and, realistically, if something works, just let it out there. The right to try should be continued throughout time now. I think we've finally figured out that Operation Warp Speed has been a tremendous success when it comes to this vaccine, and we should continue with these processes further. Less regulation, more gooder. Last week, Pfizer said its vaccine was effective in preventing COVID-19, 90%, sending markets soaring on hopes that an effective vaccine would help end the pandemic. Moderna's shot comes with one crucial advantage over Pfizer's. It doesn't require a deep freeze. Instead, the shot can be stored at standard refrigeration temperatures for up to a month. That's why they waited an extra week to come out with their findings. Moderna said on Monday. Hospitals and health officials were working to figure out how to store and distribute Pfizer's shot, particularly in more rural areas. Well, it wouldn't be much of a problem in January in places like Michigan or Minnesota, but fair enough. I'm sure the people up there in Siberia probably are like, yeah, we'll take what we can get. Some hospitals and cities and state health officials were seeking to acquire the special freezers to store the shot, Reuters reported. I bet you Frigidaire is probably just punching the fucking air right now, just thinking of all the missed profits that they're going to be, out of. Pfizer's vaccine needs to be shipped and stored at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit, a temperature colder than what's needed for most other vaccines. And you could never scoop out ice cream at that temperature. That can be challenging in the US and presents even more of an obstacle in some other countries where they still use ice boxes in like Yugoslavia. So like I said, it's great news. It's great news. And here's even more good news. Dow posts first record close since February as Moderna's vaccine data spurns optimism. There's nothing bad in this story whatsoever. I'm not going to do a last minute left turn. This is just all terrific news. And as soon as we can get out of this deep, dark winter, the better. U.S. stocks rallied on Monday after Moderna announced its coronavirus vaccine candidate reliably protected patients from COVID-19. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at an first all-time high since February, while the S&P 500 also finished the day at a record level. Remember all the way back in February when the economy was absolutely booming and it was all the result of the Obama and Biden administration? I think I'm mixing up my timelines, but yeah, things were actually good 9 months ago. 9 months? Holy fuck. Can you actually believe it at this point? That's amazing. Moderna said Monday morning that its experimental vaccine was 94.5% effective. Well, we'll just round up because it's easier to say. At preventing COVID-19 in trial patients, an independent group of experts found signs of effectiveness after reviewing data from an ongoing 30,000 person trial, so not a small trial whatsoever. Moderna said the company plans to apply for emergency use authorization later this month, and it will absolutely go through as long as nothing fucked up happens. And I don't count on that. The encouraging news comes 1 week after Pfizer and BioNTech revealed similarly positive results from their own vaccine trial, which you need to store in the backs of Tauntauns. There you go. Star Wars reference, I think. While both experimental drugs still require a regulatory approval to be distributed, and that's what Operation Warp Speed's for, folks, their effectiveness suggests the virus could reliably be contained sooner than expected. Let's take a look at the numbers. The energy and industrial sectors led the S&P 500 higher. Healthcare and real estate stocks lagged the broader market's gains. The so-called reopening trade soared as Moderna's update lifted investors' optimisms. Airlines, including United, American, and Delta, gained, as did cruise lines. Hotel stocks also jumped as investors bet on near-term vaccine distribution to revive the struggling sector. And what was that, during the first or the second presidential debate, where President Trump said that the military will be there to distribute this vaccine as soon as we get it, before the end of the year, within the next couple of weeks. Look at that. Promises made, promises delivered. And 200,000 military people will be out there with, instead of rubber bullets, they'll just be firing vaccine into the crowd. Psh, psh. Conversely, stocks that thrived in the stay-at-home economy sank as investors positioned for a full recovery. The DNC, Zoom, Netflix, and Peloton, among others, tumbled. Time to buy, folks. If you have money, if you are liquid, not just in your pants, but also in your pocket, buy up Netflix, buy up Peloton. I think Peloton would probably be the best one to get because at-home exercise, as much as people want to go back to the gym, they'll be, thinking that they can stay just as healthy at home. So, yeah, definitely hop on the lower prices right now for at-home solutions. I'm just throwing that out there. Falling tech giants in particular led the NASDAQ composite to underperform peer indexes. The global population couldn't have asked for more from the Moderna vaccine. Seema Shah, chief strategist at Principal Global Investors, said visibility towards a return to normality is increasing, and this should provide more fuel to the reflation rally, with small caps, values, and cyclical clear beneficiaries. Hey, I can't be anything less than optimistic about this. This is terrific. Markets are going back up. We are going to be seeing a great rebound in 2021. And based on what we've seen with those fucking recounts coming out of Georgia and New Hampshire, and soon to be happening in Wisconsin and Michigan, and I'm not going to do it. I won't do it. But you guys know where I was going on that one. It's going to be good, and 2021 is going to be one hell of a fucking year as long as we continue on this track. Biden, you know what? It's time to hit the old folks home, buddy. Looks like your time's coming up. Not like that, but don't exactly be making plans for the Oval Office. Put off those drapery orders and tell Kamala that her communist manifesto needs to be rerouted back to her house out there in California. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.